What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a foundation review, and I did a review on this foundation. I've done one a while ago, but when I did that video, I feel like I wasn't as in depth. I actually haven't watched my review for this foundation for a while, so I know for sure I was not as in depth as I was in my foundation reviews. And I asked on Snapchat if you guys wanted to see another, like a redo review of that foundation, since I haven't tried it in a while. I did like a little PR unboxing Snapchat story, and yeah, a few people did want to see a review on this one and on the Double Wear cushion sticks, so that one might be coming up soon as well. But a lot of people wanted to see this one first, so I'm doing a review on the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup, and I have two different shades here. I have the shade 3W1 Tawny and 3N1 Ivory Beige. When I first tried this foundation, I think I had the shade Cashew. Like I said, I haven't watched my review on that video in a while, so as usual, all I have on my face right now is moisturizer, and I moisturize my face with this simple replenishing rich moisturizer. It's really sunny right now, so it's hard to see, but I have this right here. I still have acne scars. They're not gonna go anywhere anytime soon, so I have acne scars all around this area. Then I have a really big acne mark around here as well. So before I get into showing you the demo part, I'm gonna read all the details about this foundation. So on the box, this is what the packaging looks like first of all. So this is 1 fluid ounce of foundation, and on the back of the packaging it says that it's for all skin types, 15 hours staying power, looks fresh and flawless through heat, humidity, non-stop activity, won't change color, smudge, or come off on clothes, lightweight and so comfortable you won't believe it's long wear. Medium buildable coverage, won't clog pores, oil controlling, oil free, fragrance free, dermatologist and ophthalmologist tested. Before I read what it says online, this is what the bottle looks like. So it has a frosted finish to it, and it also has a gold cap, and it has gold lettering, and it does not come with a pump. As you can see, there's no pump. I've heard that MAC pumps fit here, so I need to pick one up, but yeah, it does not come with a pump. That's probably so far one of like the downsides of it. So I'm gonna go on the website and see what it claims on there and if it claims the same things. So on the Estee Lauder website, it retails for $39.50. So it's not as high as like some other foundations, so it's there. It's definitely high end. It's long wearing, 15 hours, medium coverage, and they have 38 different shades to choose from, and the shade selection in this foundation looks amazing. Like, I'm scrolling through it and there are a lot of colors for people who have a fair complexion, medium complexion, and a deeper complexion. There are like quite a bit of shades for each one of those three. As for the product details, it basically says the same thing that it says on the packaging. The only thing that it says different, I think, is that it's a semi-matte finish. So it's not completely matte, but it's not dewy either. All right, so now that we know what this foundation is about, what claims it makes, so on and so forth, I'm gonna start to apply the foundation. So I'm going to do half of my face with a beauty blender and the other half with my Morphe M439. This is like a holy grail foundation brush for me. I feel like I haven't used this brush in a while. And the shade, by the way, that I'm gonna use is Tawny. It does kind of have a, like that makeup smell, like the paint smell kind of. So I'm gonna apply it on this side with a beauty blender. You can see everything. Oh, the color's actually pretty close. So far it's covering everything. It doesn't feel sticky either. The beauty blender does kind of shear it out a tiny bit, tiny bit. It also isn't feeling heavy on my skin either. All right, so this is the foundation on half of my face with a beauty blender. I like how it applied It did give me a nice coverage. It evened everything out, but I can still see my acne peeking through, and that, I mean, that is kind of expected because it did claim to be a medium coverage. So you can see, especially this acne mark that I have right here, you can still see it a little bit there. You can see a little tiny bit of my acne right here as well. So now I'm gonna do this half of my face with the Morphe M439. I think I applied a little too much. That's the thing about not having a pump. And I feel like it's applying a lot lighter. And this is how it looks with a full face of the foundation on. And I must say, I really like the way that the foundation looks. But now that I have let it set, I can definitely feel it on my skin. It is a little bit more on that matte side because I don't want to say it feels drying, but I've had matte foundations that don't feel like this tight on my skin, I guess is how I can describe it. But it looks really nice. Like on camera, you can see it looks really, really nice. It doesn't look heavy at all, but it does provide that coverage. The scent basically went away now that I have it all over and it's set. I don't have the smell like right here, but now that I applied it everywhere, I'm going to finish up my makeup and I'll be right back to talk about whether or not I think that this meets some of the claims that they make and other details. So I'll be right back. All right, so I finished applying the rest of my makeup and this is how it looks. And the products that I used on top of the foundation are the same exact products that I used from my How I Avoid Cake Face video, except for the lip color and mascara. But everything else is the same. Before applying the rest of the products on top, I did feel like the foundation was a little bit heavy. I felt it felt similar to the Smashbox foundation. Like it felt a little bit heavy on the skin and it felt a little bit tight. But now that I finished applying the rest of the products and you know, it's all settled in, it doesn't feel as tight. It still feels a little bit tight and it does feel like I can go over top with a setting spray to just kind of give it a little bit more life, but it still does not feel like it did as soon as I finished applying it. I absolutely love the way that this foundation looks both in person and on camera. It looks flawless. I didn't even bother building up the coverage because I like the way that it looks just like this. You can still see my skin peeking through a little bit. I wouldn't say it's like a natural look whatsoever. Like you can tell I'm wearing makeup, but it doesn't look like too much. So as far as the claims that it makes and whether or not I agree. So I obviously can't tell you whether or not it's long wearing because I haven't worn it all day yet. But towards the end of this video, I will be telling you how it wore throughout the day. Coverage wise, I do think it is a medium coverage, but I feel like if you were to build it up, it would give you like a more of a full coverage if that's what you're looking for. As far as the finish, I do think it's a semi-matte finish. And it also says it's supposed to last through heat, humidity, and non-stop activity. So we'll be putting that to the test throughout the day. I'll tell you whether or not it's held up. The color didn't really change. When I first put it on, it looked a little bit light, but then it kind of set and it matched my skin perfectly. And ever since I finished applying it, it hasn't changed color at all. It also says that it does not smudge or come off on clothes. And touching it, it doesn't feel like I'm gonna get transfer, and I'm actually not getting any transfer by touching it. And then as far as it feeling lightweight and comfortable, I think it just depends on what primer you use. If you use more of a hydrating primer, then it'll probably not have that like more matte finish, so it won't feel as heavy on the skin. But I didn't prime, I just used the foundation. So now that I finished talking about whether or not I agree with some of the claims, I'm going to put this foundation to the test. So right now it is 12:27 p.m. So I'm going to be wearing the foundation all day, and I'm going to check back in a few hours. I'll probably check back in at the end of the day to see how it's holding up and if it's gotten oily at all, because it does say that it's oil free and all that stuff. So I will be back at the end of the day to see how the foundation is holding up. All right, you guys, so it is now 8:41 p.m. I don't know if you guys can see the time, but it's 8:41. So I've been wearing this foundation now for about 8 hours. So I haven't been wearing it for as long as it claims like that it wears, but I've been wearing it for long enough to be able to tell you, like, you know, a good review on it. So I didn't touch up at all throughout the day. nothing. The only thing I touched up was my lip color, and I just touched up right now. But I haven't touched my face at all, and let me get close so you can see. So as you can see, it isn't as matte as when I first applied it. You can start to see the oils peek through a little bit, but that basically happens with me with any foundation because I have oily skin. Looking at it up close, it has not cracked at all throughout the day. Nothing, nowhere around my mouth. Typically around my mouth is where it starts to crack, especially on my chin area. It's still all there. It has not transferred anywhere, and touching it, yeah, the transfer, I don't have any. There's nothing I don't like about it. Now, one thing I will have to see is whether or not it breaks me out, because I think when I first tried it, it started breaking me out. I know for sure I ended up returning it the first time because every time that I wore it, the next morning I would wake up with a new breakout, and that was the only thing that I had changed, you know, in my like regimen or my makeup routine. My skin's been breaking out a lot lately, but right now, like before I put the foundation on, I didn't have any new breakouts, so we'll see tomorrow if it's any different. And of course, the more I wear the foundation, I'll be able to tell. But I'm gonna leave an update in the description box. So far, I like the foundation. Now I'm gonna keep trying it to see how I like it. It looks amazing in photos and flash photography as well, as you guys saw earlier. It looks really, really nice. So this is definitely a foundation that I'm going to be using for special occasions or events and stuff like that. So before I finish off the video, I'm on the Estee Lauder website just one more time, and I'm going to see if the claims that I read to you guys earlier, if I still think they're true or not. Long wearing makeup, yes, it's definitely long wearing. 15-hour staying power, that's the one thing I am not able to tell you guys because I didn't wear it for 15 hours. I only wore it for 8. I don't think I've ever wore foundation for up to 15 hours, but it did stay on my face and it wore for a very long time. Lasts through heat, humidity, and nonstop activity. It definitely lasts through heat, humidity, and nonstop activity, that's for sure, because today it was pretty warm and I was going back and forth. Now that my foundation has been sitting on my face for a while, and as I mentioned earlier, my oils have kind of seeped through, it doesn't feel as tight and as heavy as it did earlier. And now it is feeling a lot more lightweight, and it's definitely a lot more comfortable. I actually don't really feel it on my face right now. So that was my review on the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. If I missed anything, or if you're curious or have any questions about the foundation, leave them in the comment section and I will definitely get back to you. Make sure to also follow me on my social media accounts, Instagram and Snapchat. I'm always on Snapchat, so make sure to follow me. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.